Hot topic here on Morning Kick Around. This is Monday, April 14th. A couple weeks ago, we had one of the best midweeks of American soccer in recent memory with the U.S. Open Cup second round, third round on the way, starting on Tuesday night. I think we almost even undersold how much fun that was a couple weeks ago. We had a couple segments on. You can look back at some of the top moments of the U.S. Open Cup. I don't even really know where to start. I'll be going myself to DCFC versus Westchester FC. The first game of the window is Columbus Crew versus Pittsburgh Riverhounds. The big MLS team's not in it. We're going to look at kind of like the biggest potential upsets. Do we have Cinderella on our hands? But I want to say with how fun and engaging the second round is, and then we'll see what happens with this third. Do you think that the Major League Soccer teams are trending towards joining this? Because they seem like they're missing out. I mean, this is good fun.
I don't know that that's the question. I mean, I think MLS has made their choice because of, they've done that on business reasons, or that's how they'll frame it, right, Rob? Is that they're saying,
of course.
Like,
oh yeah, I know. We've gone through all that, but I was just going to say, like, do they seem like they're missing out, or is is it the competition's loss, or is it their loss at this point?
No, I don't. I mean, the competition changes when you have the big clubs in it, right? The big teams, the MLS sides, who there is always a question of, do they really care, right? Those things are sort of part of the narrative when you talk about the Open Cup, and when we get to the third and fourth round, and when MLS teams come into it, I'm okay with this, right? Let this be the playground of the lower division teams. Let this be about, obviously there's not many amateur sides left, but let this be about the lower division clubs that we now get a chance to learn about as we go through. I'm going to see if I can get this working. Here it is, the schedule for the third round of matches.
You can't see it at the top. That is Columbus Crew 2 versus Pittsburgh Riverhounds in the first game. There you go.
Yeah. So we got, and again, I think Columbus Crew 2 is, so one thing that I got to catch up on is when everybody's entering. That's always, and this is a tournament that constantly changes, right? I mean, obviously MLS pulling out as they did last year, and then getting to this place of like, okay, well, some of our teams will play, and then when will those things happen? But I think you've got great stories here. Like, forget about the MLS teams or even the MLS affiliated MLS Next Pro outfits. You got Portland Hearts of Pine, who pulled off a cardiac kids kind of thing up against Rhode Island. That's New England on New England, right? Across a division, which, yes, they're both USL teams, but they're USL teams at different levels. Union Omaha and San Antonio, same thing. That game in Omaha. So the third division side is hosting the USL Championship side. I see that Detroit City, local to you, has got Westchester. That's a
I'm interested to see that team.
A brand new team that barely anybody knows even exists in, I think, League One, right?
Yep.
So and then same thing for Antelope Valley Alta, AV Alta, who had the cardiac kids event of their own in the Open Cup against LAFC 2, I think they beat, right? And they had the shirt celebration. That means now the guy who scored the winning goal can't play in this round because he got suspended with the red card against Orange County, which is has some history. They've won the second division of soccer in this country, has Orange County SC, and they had that whole thing, that back and forth. You want to talk about stories? They had that fight over their home venue with the LA Galaxy, who wanted to put their second division team, their second team in that stadium, and that became a thing. I remember covering that on various things I was doing. Let's see, what else do we got here? Sacramento Republic. That's my hometown, Sacramento, California, where I was born and raised for 2 months. They get El Farolito, so that's kind of a local situation. El Farolito out of San Francisco. I think I've mentioned this.
That was one of the top moments on the segment when we reviewed round 2. Was the burrito store supported team, going on that great run, and I mean, having an in-state rivalry, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was going to say that I've mentioned that I'm headed to San Francisco a week from tomorrow. I think is when I leave. And I'm looking forward to the trip. I'm going to go to Napa and do all that fancy wine things, but I'm going to also try to go and I don't know I don't know, depends on whether I'm hungry or not, if I'm going to eat a El Farolito burrito. But I'm definitely going to go to the store. I'm definitely going to go to the restaurant and take a picture and be like, look where I'm at in front of El Farolito.
I'm definitely I got a little bit of psychological thing going on because you just mentioned delicious foods, and my mind already started wandering to what to have for lunch. But should we hone down to some of the games on hand? I said I'm going to be going to DCFC versus Westchester. Excited to see that, and like you said, brand new team. Um, Naples is taking on Tampa Bay Rowdies. FC Naples, a very young team. I think they might be leading the way in
They
USL
are. They
attendance.
are. So I leading the way in the league. They're on 14 points. They've won 4 times and lost twice, or drawn twice, and have not lost a game yet on the season. They've only given up 2 goals in 6 games. So they're one of the stories of USL League One this season. Again, an expanded USL League One. And I think the Open Cup is a nice way for those of us who maybe aren't always paying attention to what's happening in the 3rd division in USL League One. Maybe for people whose job it, who don't have it as part of their job to pay attention. You get the Open Cup and you go, oh, FC Naples. What's that all about? Oh, they're professional. Oh, they're in League One. Oh, they're leading League One. Oh, and also, there's some other teams down there I didn't know about. Did I know that Spokane had a team? Spokane Velocity. Did I know they're not in their first year, but did I know about AV Alta? Did I know about Westchester? Did I know about Chattanooga Red Wolves, who we obviously spent some time with because of the Open Cup last weekend with that victory over their in-town rival who they never had played before, and that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, getting to learn new teams, but also like these teams getting to play unusual matchups both locally and then if they do well enough, potentially a team from a much higher league than them, but also interesting interstate or within state matchups in this round.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stories here I think that are fascinating in terms of what these matchups look like. And you before we came on the air, you were mentioning the Jägermeister Cup, which is a thing that USL is doing, and I think that was always kind of like their test ground for maybe what Pro Rel could be. Although they now announced that, but the Jägermeister Cup this year is going to be between all of the professional outfits in the USL, so both Championship and League One teams. But here you have a little taste of that. You've got some championship teams taking on some League One teams, and in some cases having to go away and visit that League One team. So an opportunity for those clubs to, make a statement against a team that's nominally at a higher level.
So if we're gonna try to circle an upset here, there's a lot of like interesting matchups. I'm trying to think of like it would probably be Farolito as far as like the lowest ranked versus the highest ranked, right?
Well, that's because Farolito is the only amateur side left in the competition.
So that's kind of an easy pick for potential upset of the round, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, if you want a Cinderella story, you have to root against Sacramento Republic, which stinks because I'm born in Sacramento. That's mean to me, but you would be rooting for El Farolito. I do think there's other, like AV Alta hosting Orange County. I think that's still a good story. AV Alta after what they did in the last round. Let's see, Portland Hearts of Pine at home against Rhode Island.
That's the one I was gonna pick. I mean, Rhode Island, very young, but obviously a finalist in their league.
Yeah, so that they've already made a statement about their ability to compete at the level that they're in. I mean, I think Pittsburgh has to go to Columbus and play an MLS Next Pro team, and I don't know how you sort of judge the level there, but because Pittsburgh is a 2nd division team and Columbus Crew 2 is nominally a 3rd division team. But I think Pittsburgh beating Columbus would be something for people in Pittsburgh. I think they'd be excited about that. So I'm looking at that one again. Naples and Tampa. That one.
Yeah, that would be huge. That would really, bring awareness to that new team in Naples if they beat Tampa Bay. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Rowdies have a history and a name, and have done some big things in their division. And so I was going to say Union Omaha and San Antonio. Union Omaha is not having the best season so far. Very early, only 3 matches in. They've only played 3 games. The USL League One schedule is a little unbalanced at the moment, so it's tough to tell who's what where. Union's only played 3 times. They've only won once. But they are, that's obviously a team defending champion of
another American champ with a hangover here this year.
Perhaps, but I think you give them a decent shot to beat San Antonio, particularly at home. I think that one is really interesting. There is another MLS 2 team in here, and it's Tacoma Defiance, who I hadn't spotted. I mean, I know I'd seen that, but I forgot to kind of come back because Columbus Crew 2 is named Columbus Crew too. Tacoma Defiance is the MLS Next Pro outfit for the Seattle Sounders. So that is their MLS Next Pro team. So you'll have them hosting Oakland Roots, who we do like on this show.
Yeah, games spanning at tomorrow, starting on Tuesday at 6, and then going through late night on Wednesday night. And the last game of the slate of third round games, Las Vegas Lights versus Chattanooga Red Wolves. I feel like the biggest letdown is going to come from, if I'm going to put my prediction hat on, I feel like after that super high of that Inter Chattanooga battle that was epic, both in just the game itself, the crowd, and the whole flag planting thing. They go to Las Vegas against a more experienced team, and I think that might get a little ugly for the Red Wolves because they are not doing well either in their league play.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a tough trip. Vegas has improved, right, compared to what they've been in the past. There's always been a club that's kind of struggled. I mean, the playoffs for the first time last year. Go ahead.
I was going to say they've always been like more on the fun, kind of unusual operational side rather than like results on the field. It's been a little underperforming there.
The leadership, the ownership changed. Now Joey Bautista is one of the key owners, maybe the primary owner in Vegas, and they are no longer the Brett Lashbrook, Bill Veck style. Come out, put your feet in a kiddie pool, and we'll call it poolside seats kind of thing, and having flamingos, blow up flamingos and all that stuff, and dropping cash from a helicopter, and llamas, famously had llamas. In fact, among the many things I own from American Soccer Nonsense is, let me see if I can pull this down. I actually have a mask with this. I don't know where the mask is, but this is a luchador cape that the Las Vegas Lights did a couple years ago. It's backwards. There you go. You can see it. So I have a luchador mask and this cape that the Lights did as one of their promotions, because that's how the Lights do. That's how the Lights do, Rob.
So if we got about another minute to spend on this, I'm trying to think of if we only have midweek availability to watch one window of games between the Tuesday and the Wednesday. When are we going to fire up the CBS network of networks here that is showing the games moving forward? There is some good ones on both Tuesday and Wednesday. Which one are you is a can't misser for you?
I'll pick a game on Tuesday and a game on Wednesday if I have to narrow it down. So I'm going to pick Portland Hearts of Pine in Rhode Island on Tuesday. I think that's the one that stands out for me. And then on Wednesday, and we haven't mentioned Colorado Springs hosting Knoxville, so that's championship versus League One in that matchup. Indy 11, Miami. I think it's probably Naples, Tampa. I think that would be I know you're going to be going to Detroit, Westchester, but I'm going to, if I'm watching a game, I'm probably taking Naples and Tampa Bay.
An interesting lineup ahead, and I know we'll get a little bit of flack. We didn't mention New Mexico versus Locomotive. That also, I'm sure, will be quite the festive event down in that area of the country. And great lineup of games. Can't wait for more Open Cup midweek action. I feel like the midweeks have been more fun than the weekends in the last few weeks of the footing.
I mean, the entertainment value in the Open Cup has been pretty high. And again, you said it. Like, can this third round live up to what the second round delivered? We will find out.
Thank you for tuning in. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, do so now. Morning Kick Around at the YouTubes. We are creeping towards 2,000. I haven't looked at my phone, but hopefully we are getting there one subscriber at a time. And then once you've subscribed, tell your friend and family to do the same. There's a membership level available now that'll provide some perks to you and help sustain the program and help us grow this this show and the MK Ultra community along with it. Follow along at MKickaround on X, Instagram, and Blue Sky. Write us a note, morningkickaround@gmail.com. Look for the podcast. If you're a podcast listener, you can look up Morning Kick Around on your favorite podcast platform. And another place you can support the show, coffee.com/Morning Kick Around. Thank you for everyone who has supported so far. And if you haven't, do so if you can.